13 states are suing the Biden administration over a rule in the federal stimulus that bars states from using relief money to offset tax cuts. The Attorney General is calling it, quote, one of the most egregious power grabs by the federal government in the history of the United States. One of those guys who's suing is West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. He co-led the lawsuit, joins us live from West Virginia. Patrick, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. It's good to be with you to talk about this very important issue.
It is important. And for the most part, you know, you got this 500-page bill or whatever it was, and there on one page was a little gem, just a little IED, essentially, that said that states like yours, you can't cut taxes if we give you a bunch of dough.
Yeah, this is truly one of the most amazing provisions that you're going to see ever come out of Congress. It's not only that they're saying that you can't directly use COVID money for tax cuts, they're going much further. They're saying that to the extent that your state revenue is lowered or that there's an indirect effect, that you could be subject to a clawback from the federal government. And when you're talking about a state like West Virginia that has about $1.25 billion at stake, that has a very significant chilling effect. We think this is clearly violative of the 10th Amendment, and we're going to go into court. We're here. We're going to make our arguments. This is so critical for us to win because it's the first issue where the Biden administration is really trying to run roughshod over the states, but there will be many more. Right. And I think that the precedent we establish here is going to be revealing for the next 4 years.
So, Mr. Attorney General, part of the bill that funds $1.9 trillion worth of rescue money, the American Rescue Plan, it says this: a state or territory shall not use the funds provided under the section to either directly or indirectly offset a reduction in net tax revenue of such state or territory. What it comes down to is, and we've been talking about this, and you know it, I'm sitting in New York City, and New York City has had a gigantic budget shortfall in taxes for a variety of reasons during the coronavirus. And so, and you know, you got all the state expenditures and stuff like that, pensions and stuff like that. So what this bill does is it offers New York State and other blue states a lifeline. There are other states that have run themselves efficiently, like West Virginia, and some states were planning tax cuts, but now you can't do it or you lose the dough.
It's truly unbelievable because there is a disparate effect from state to state. You're exactly right. States that were managing their budgets effectively really get penalized. And let's just show how obscene this provision is. Imagine that you want to just make a small little tweak in your tax code. Maybe you want to expand the opportunity for people to do charitable deductions, or you want to drop the sales tax down, maybe to compete with one of your neighbor states. There's a reading of this new law that you're not going to be able to do it. And I know the Treasury Secretary said, well, we're not going to force it. But the language is so vague and so open-ended that states are deeply concerned about this. And West Virginia, and they're trying to make sure that there's a major tax change right now to lure more citizens into our state. They will pay a huge price under this law. And I'm not going to let that happen. I represent the people of our state. We're going to stand up and fight.
I think somebody in the administration needs to read about federalism and realize there are limits on what the federal government can do and what the state governments are supposed to do. And it is contained in one of those 1,000 books behind you right now, Mr. Attorney General. Thank you.
You know, Steve, I'd say one quick point, that the bottom line on this case is that you cannot coerce a state to drop one of its core constitutional functions in exchange for a large pot of money from the federal government, not permitted under the case law and the Constitution.
All right. Sir, thank you very much.